First, top series UCF versus West Virginia, Georgia, Mississippi State, West Coast Granddaddy of them all. Check back with the midweek games and five arms and the big ballers of the week.
Bobby Knight just threw his chair clear across the free throw lane. It's down. Woo! What a hit! You got barbecue back there?
Personal foul. 69. Offense. He was giving them the business.
Go back there. Hold on!
This is the Five with Arms and a Lucky Fin podcast.
Grab your bat. We're going to talk some college baseball today. Jason is laying down the best bunt you've ever
I
seen.
was about to say, how are we looking?
We're looking pretty good.
All right,
Look,
all right.
I don't know. I guess it was a game. The guys, I've seen them hold them up almost up to the barrel now.
They like to.
Yes, man. I was shocked by that.
Yeah. You know what
Anyway.
my favorite is? My favorite is this.
No, that's stupid. Yeah, and like the old MVP baseball. That's how they used to bunt because they
Yeah.
bunt and then they look back at the camera. Like,
Yeah, they'd be sitting there wiggling like this.
you just do the screen all over the place.
Yes.
I don't think we're going to be talking about bunts today, but a lot of college baseball, good college baseball. I'm your host, Kenny Hilliard. I have not introduced myself, and this is the third episode we're in. Great week of college baseball. Jason, how are we feeling about this week?
We're doing good. This week was great. Great weekend of games and a lot of good mid-majors. Got a lot of good midweek games. So really excited.
Yeah, we're gonna hit some Central Florida and West Virginia, Georgia, Mississippi State. Pretty good series. And also, we'll talk about the West Coast Granddaddy of them all that turned out not to be so of grand. That is USC and UCLA. And we'll, again, check with our midweeks and come back to our five arms and our big ballers of the week. Great week to start off. Jason, let's jump into the top matchups. How about that?
Yep, sounds good.
Lead us off, dude. Lead us off.
Yeah, so if we want to start off, we'll go Florida State and Virginia. This was a big one. Florida State, number 7 in the country. Virginia, number 10. So top 10 matchup here. This was a great series. I saw a lot of the first game. Very good pitchers duel. Virginia ended up edging out Florida State 4-3, but then Florida State takes the next two to win the series 2-1. Big series win for Florida State. I think this is going to be a big one for them just moving forward, right? It's good for their RPI. It's good for rankings in general. So I think this is going to help them when we're down the road looking at who's going to get a top 8 seed. They end up with a home super regional. This could be a matchup that ends up giving Florida State an edge.
Especially, I mean, again, you see up in the right, they got Georgia Tech up next. That Georgia Tech team looks good. So you really got to come off of a good weekend. And I mean, they got Florida this week. Yeah, they got Florida this week, which is another. Florida's still kind of trying to prove themselves. I mean, they didn't have a good showing this week. But Florida State's looking hot. And like I said last week, I thought they were going to have a little issues maybe with Miles Bailey out. But again, they got other ballers on their team that can easily step up. So not an issue with Florida State.
Yep. Next, we got Boston College in North Carolina. Boston College, number 22. We talked about them a little bit last week, and we were excited for this series. And right out the gate, it kind of hit like we thought it would, right? Boston College's pitching staff has been really pitching really well with the lefties, and they got a lefty on the mound for the first game. North Carolina, leading into this game, was batting only 250 against lefties coming in and 305 against righties. So really, Forbes was really saying that their kind of mantra was going to be get to the lefties, get to the bullpen so they can get to the righties, because that's actually how they beat Boston College in the postseason last year in the ACC conference tournament. I believe it was in the quarterfinals. But not today. Game 1 goes to Boston College 6-1. Don't know what the stat line was for the starter, but he had an outstanding game. But then North Carolina goes back and takes games 2 and 3. That game 3 was a tough one, Kenny. 8-7, North Carolina took it. Had a little pressure there late in the game, but took care of business.
Yeah, we talk about the pitching staffs and kind of just you either get ahead or you don't. And those late innings, you cannot. The late innings, you really got to close. You got to really
Yeah.
do a good job of closing those in. And I'm all for North Carolina. North Carolina. No, we'll hit up them. Talk about them later when we come back to talk our midweeks. Campbell.
Mm.
Upcoming this week, Clemson for North Carolina. Clemson was at Stanford this week. I did not. I'm pretty sure Stanford took the series on that. I
Gosh, dude,
watched a little bit of it.
Clemson's
Uh,
falling apart.
yeah, it's not the greatest of year for Clemson. Virginia Tech taking Boston College next week. Not too sure,
That's
but
that's a I think that's a big bounce back opportunity for Boston College. I mean, this is a good program, a good pitching staff. This is going to be an opportunity for them to go in and possibly get a sweep at home against Virginia Tech.
all right. Moving on, this here a great. This is a great matchup, and I think Georgia proved a lot. Uh, Mississippi State had a good series last week, but Georgia took it to them this week. Swept the series against Mississippi State, 25-7, 75 in the SEC for Mississippi State. I didn't have a chance to catch much of the game, but do you have anything on them, Jason?
Yeah. The first game was tight, and it was a it was a down to the wire game, right?
Really?
Georgia ended up taking it. I believe. Yeah. Gosh, I'm blanking now, but I believe Mississippi State had. Did they have bases loaded whenever they went out in that game? I don't remember. It was definitely a high pressure situation down there, and I believe they went to 10 innings, right? Where Mississippi State ended up giving up the game to Georgia. So didn't watch a whole lot of this series. Watched a lot of other games, but it's good to see, you know, Georgia with a big series win. I mean, a sweep is huge here. It sucks that
Especially
Mississippi
SEC
State didn't
ball
get a win, but and uh,
at
at
Doobie.
Mississippi State. So
Yeah. Do
then
you think they're going to drop or? I mean,
okay, so
they probably won't
I
drop
think Mississippi
much.
State. Yeah, I was about to say I think Mississippi State maybe drops a few spots, just
Yeah.
because they're still such a great program
Yeah.
this year, and Georgia winning. I mean, Georgia's gonna. I mean, now you never would have thought Georgia's a team that you're gonna look at baseball wise, right? To
Yeah.
be up there in top five, but looking forward to them moving up a smidge, maybe. Maybe just maybe they just take Mississippi State's spot. Mississippi State drops a couple spots, but with a lot of
Yeah.
teams losing in that 8 to 12, 14 range
Mhm.
this weekend, I think that's going to help Mississippi State, even Virginia, not drop a whole lot in the rankings when they come
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, with UCLA, Texas up at the top, Georgia Tech, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
So nothing hidden. Let's talk about the granddaddy of them all.
Oh gosh.
UCLA absolutely tore up on USC this week. USC's got a good pitching staff, but UCLA is hitting the ball really well, and they're looking like a dangerous team. I don't think it's the same team as last year. They were hitting those little slow rollers, but UCLA's got a dominant team this year, and I believe looking at the rest of their schedule, it's not actually. I could be wrong. I think they got a pretty tough schedule this year, but um, I watched their third game, and this is another point. I think it's embarrassing. Big Ten Network. They did not have any of those games nationally televised. They were with the Big Ten Plus, and the
Yeah.
only game that was somewhat shown today was their last game, which I
Wow.
think is a kind of a gut punch. Maybe that has something to do with UCLA's women's basketball team being in the finals. Congratulations to them, by the way. Um, I
I,
don't know.
I think it's just the nature of college baseball and the way the media sees it. So
Yeah. Well, I think they had other like I heard complaints that they had sports like lacrosse or something on. They weren't even close to something that important to actually move a game like that off.
yeah. But at the end of the day, USC actually they have a chance to bounce back in the midweek against UC Santa Barbara. That's going to be a tough matchup, though. UC Santa Barbara's playing really well right
Mhm.
now.
Yep.
But then their next series against Iowa, I don't see Iowa as a powerhouse in baseball. So an opportunity for USC to get back. UCLA, they got Fullerton this week in the midweek. Fullerton's not
Hmm.
a bad program. They're
Two
playing
fun
really well.
matchups.
Yeah, so we got two
If
fun
it's
midweek
college
matchups.
baseball.
Maybe they end up on the midweek mayhem next week. But then UCLA's got Rutgers at home next week, and I don't see them losing another game there.
No, how dominant they've been, I don't see either. You see Santa Barbara. I thought they were going to pull a series upset against Oregon last week, so I had them written down. But I'm excited to see UC. And again, we've
Yeah.
hit on it. We're really excited about these California teams kind of coming back up.
Yep.
It's need it. So
And the last one to mention is our Big 12 matchup for the week. Central Florida, number 23, and West Virginia. West Virginia was sitting pretty right. They're sitting right there around a
mhm.
regional right now at number 13. They needed a win in the series. It was going to be huge for their RPI as well. But UCF comes in to Morgantown, gets a 2-1 series. And this was a crazy series, Kenny. Uh,
Yeah,
5-0 on the first night. UCF, Andrew Williamson, he gets 2 home runs on Friday in the 5-0 win. And then West Virginia gets a crazy comeback win in game 2, which we'll discuss a little bit later in our
Mhm.
performances. But then today, UCF with a 5-1 win. And this was a tough one for West Virginia because they had an opportunity to get out of the inning when it was 1 to
Yeah.
1. And had an error that gave up a run, let a run score. Then they walked in a run, made it 3-1, and then ended up another couple of runs getting in. They had to go to the bullpen, and their bats were not hitting the rest of the day. I mean, there were a lot of hit swings today that looked like they could have went out, but just wasn't carrying today.
Yeah, the announcers was talking about West Virginia was, I think today they only hit 3 singles. And I believe it was the same thing either Friday or Saturday. Like they really weren't hitting the
Must have
ball
been must have been
well
Friday.
enough to even get out. Yeah. So it's one of those things in baseball. If you ain't hitting it, you're just not going to be able to touch. And it's I
Yeah.
guess it's just difficult to say. That's a lot of programs right now. If you're not touching the ball, you ain't touching it for a while, and it'll beat you. It'll beat you. But
Yeah. My
Central
last
Florida,
note on this
it's
one.
a game. That's a team to watch. We have them on our watch list. I think we talked about it earlier. They'll probably shoot up pretty well.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
think I think they just going to jump right up where West Virginia is about. But a big series this weekend for them, right? Next weekend they're at Kansas. Kansas is sitting atop of the Big 12. We wouldn't have thought that would be a big thing we'd be talking about for baseball.
Yeah,
But UCF going to Kansas, I mean, that's going to determine whoever wins that series is going to be number 1 in the Big 12 going into the following week, and it's going to be huge.
exactly. Be a fun game. We got to keep eye on that Big 12 conference.
All right, you ready? I just realized as I was scrolling over to go to the next slide, my mouse just appeared on the screen, but I was looking at it just ever so slightly did. So
You get it
fun
back?
stuff. Huh? Yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
Okay. All right. Well, next up, we really are we talking midweek? We want to jump
Yeah,
into
midweek
midweek?
mayhem's next.
Oh
You better
man.
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
All right, midweek mayhem. We're going to talk about 3 really important games. Again, we're big on Campbell. Let's talk Campbell, North Carolina. We'll talk Arkansas at Missouri State. We love those. And then we'll highlight Western Kentucky against Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech's not the greatest in the Ohio Valley, but Western Kentucky. Jason, you could talk all about Western Kentucky and their pitching performance. How about them?
Yeah, no hitter. Another no hitter again this week. But this one was interesting. We don't have a solo
Yeah.
performance this time. We don't even have a duo performance. We have 7 pitchers.
Jesus.
Catch this, everybody. 7 innings, 7 pitchers. Each pitcher pitched an inning. Everybody got out. They were perfect through the first 3. I believe the fourth is when they gave up a walker or hit by pitch, but end up with a no hitter in 7. And I mean, kudos to the bats too, right? They get the 12-0, and we don't have to play any more innings to even get an opportunity to allow Tennessee Tech to get some hits. So 7-inning no hitter, interesting to see. Probably not something you're going to see very often. So really cool.
Yeah, I read up on the game. The guy said that the defense for them was really good. They made some really spectacular plays, and as a pitcher, you feel really comfortable. And that's probably why they felt so comfortable just throwing in a bunch of other pitchers. And again, it's one of those midweek games where in a team like Tennessee Tech, you're probably just testing waters out the entire week, and you're throwing all your pitchers in. So pretty good performance for them. And I believe that was reading since 2023. They threw a no hitter in 2023, kind of doing the same thing, but I believe that
Oh,
was just
wow.
one pitcher. So great dominant performance by Western Kentucky. Let's talk about our Campbells and North Carolina. We jumped into this game late. I think I remember I started watching around the 4th inning.
Well, you weren't late then. You were early.
Well, I
You
think
were
I got
early.
there. I got there early, and I got there at the right time because Campbell. It was I think Campbell to turn it around 2-4. Yeah, Campbell. Yeah, 2-4. But it was a big performance by Mason Smith. Mason Smith started the game, and he looked so dialed in. The dude was up on that mound focus. He says after his last 2 outings, he gave up 11 runs in his last 3 innings. So he was getting torn up. But he came against North Carolina and he looked good. His changeup fastball combo was pretty good. Nasty stuff. He went 4 1/3, 4 hits, 5 Ks. Only and at this point, their only runs for North Carolina were solo home runs. So I'll take that as a pitcher. But he was. I'm trying to review my notes here, but
No, you're good.
you want to jump in here.
Yeah, I think the crazy thing here was Campbell.
Handwriting's so bad.
We discussed this recently, right, a couple weeks ago, where we were talking about midweek games and how it's an opportunity to get a lot of pitchers in. This game going so late allowed Campbell to get an opportunity to see their right fielder come in and pitch late in the game.
Oh yes, I forgot. I
Yes,
forgot about that.
so that was really cool. I believe that was oh gosh, what's the guy's name? Is that Carlos? Oh, I'm blanking. So many things that happened in this game. I'll tell you who it was because they switched pitchers around. Was it Zach Sabers? Was that it? No. See, you know what happened in this?
No.
They
He was
lost
chipping.
their they lost their DH spot because of the way they moved things around. It was
Really?
played like an old time game. So them bringing in a new pitcher, I don't even see it on here. What
He
was his name
looked
was?
great.
It was cool to see.
It wasn't like it was some Jumbo out there just throwing fastball. So I'm kind of wondering if I wasn't listening real well because we were watching other games at the same time. But I mean, it's like they brought in multiple.
But the key thing here is, and gosh, I can't. I'm sad that I'm not remembering which one it was. It was either Owen Simmons or it was Bo Braley. I just don't remember which one it was.
Owen
It was
Simmons. I got an Owen Simmons. He's 2 outs, 3-2 count. They weren't. Well,
No, wait.
Campbell was
It was Carlos Lugo. It was Carlos Lugo. He
Yeah.
was the right fielder, and then
Okay,
he went to
yeah.
pitch. Okay, and then when he went out from pitching, he went back to left field. So this was fun to see. And the thing that we talked about it a little bit. This game went so late. You start to run into a situation of who are we going to have ready for Thursday? This is 2 days before series start with a holiday weekend. So
Yeah.
we didn't discuss it at the front end, but North Carolina actually had to throw in a 17-year-old freshman on that Thursday game against Boston College because most of their pitchers had pitched in this game. They had to let them rest a little bit. So definitely took a toll there. But Kenny, what happened what happened late, right? We got a runner on third for North Carolina. Pitcher's struggling a little bit, and then we have something crazy happen with 2 outs.
I forgot. What?
Did you forget, or did you see a guy going home, and then you zoned out?
Yes. I guess he was trying to time he stole home, which I think even the announcer
What he was going to?
and you and I were. Oh, he picked him off easily. That was
Yeah,
the right fielder pitching. I think at the time.
yeah, it was Owen Hall.
Yeah, he and why we were confused about it because I believe he had walked the first 2 batters, and
So Owen
and he
Hall got
wasn't getting
on a hit by pitch.
yeah he wasn't
There were
doing that
2 outs.
hot.
Right. He had struggled a little bit.
He got an ass chewing when he got to that dugout. Like he totally stole on his own. He got an ass chewing when he got in the dugout, but I think he ended up coming clutch for the game-winning run anyway. Later on in the game,
Was he?
yeah, I kept
Look,
seeing his
it was
face.
so late at
It was
night.
and they're all white dudes. They all look the same, so that's what also confused me. No offense, but
So here's what happened. We got 2 outs, and then he gets hit by the pitch. Then they get a single. So now it's first and second. Then he steals third. So he's got the confidence, right? He stole third. He's
Yeah.
got the confidence. Then guy was walked on 3 straight pitches to make the bases
Right.
loaded.
yeah, he
That's
wasn't looking good.
when he decided he was going to try and steal home. And Forbes was not happy. And he, like you said, chewed him out.
He was red after the end of it. I go, Jason, look how red he is.
Yeah, Kenny, I believe he was pulled from the game. I don't think he was put back in. I think he was pulled from the game. Yeah, Carter French went out to center field. He was
Okay,
pulled.
yeah. Okay. Because they kept showing him in the dugout. And this is why I'm saying that he came in, because they kept showing him in the dugout and he felt better. I think he ended up apologizing to his pitcher too and his team because he was trying to that hero ball. He was trying to do that hero ball, kind of Virginia stuff. But I honestly, kudos to Campbell because in that situation, that was my always. You're so afraid to balk. It's so easy to balk.
Yep.
Because you kind of hesitate. But it was a great play. Great play. Oh, speaking of play, we won't talk about it. You see South Carolina, USC and UCLA get pulled off on that old the guy stealing first, and instead of throwing it all the way down, you throw it really hard to the pitcher, and he got picked off at third.
No, wait, what?
I know that's a total going off the edge, but yeah, they did the old element little league play where you act like you're throwing it to second base and you just hard throw it to the pitcher, and the guy took off home.
Oh gosh.
So everybody was going, why would you ever fall for that? And people in the comments are going, y'all don't know baseball. I'm like, no, that's what we're saying. Why are you anyway?
Right.
But it was a 14-inning game for Campbell in North Carolina. I forgot how long that game was. It was like 9 here, huh? It was late.
No, it was like almost midnight. It was midnight in there. Yeah. They were already into Wednesday whenever they finished it. And then you want to talk about another one that went late, 10 innings, Missouri State, Arkansas. Huge one.
Beautiful game. Didn't pull it out, but good game.
Who didn't pull it out?
Missouri State.
Yeah, they did. Did you forget the walk-off home run?
So bad today. Oh, did he pimp it? Oh,
yeah,
so
he did.
Beautiful.
Bottom of the 10th inning. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they tied it in the 9th to send it to extras.
Yes, they did. I got it up here. Yeah, they scored 2. They scored 2 in the 9th.
Yeah, I believe it was a 2-run homer to tie the game, and then hit the solo in the 10th to win the game. At home, it's great to see Arkansas going to Missouri State. That's great for Missouri State. And so, them getting the win over Arkansas, this kind of says a lot about Arkansas. They struggled, and they struggled again this weekend against Auburn. So,
Yeah, they're still and they look. Is it the curse of whatever the hell happened last year? They might be
yeah,
cursed because
yeah,
whatever the hell that was asinine.
yeah.
But Missouri State, we love them. We love them.
All right, ready to jump ahead to the five
Amen.
arms of the week?
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Jump into it. Let me pull it up.
All right, so
Go
the
off.
five arms of the week. First, we have Shane Brenham, freshman left-hander out of from Michigan. So against Oregon on Thursday, this is a team we were discussing about Oregon, number 15. How good are they? They end up losing this series to Michigan. But big thing here is Shane Brenham, freshman, complete game shutout for 7 innings. He had 4 strikeouts on the fastball, 3 on the breakers. They got a lot of swings and rollovers on the ground ball on the breakers. So that's great to see. He had a couple nice swings by Oregon in the 5th, but they went right to the outfielders. And then he ended with a game, Kenny, with a liner that came right back to him. Luckily, it hit his glove, so it didn't get hurt to get out of this game. So great performance by him. Next, we got Noah Kinney, a junior right-hander out of Washington. He's 3-3 on the season.
That's
Against
my boy.
Valparaiso on Friday, he had a win, 7 innings, no runs given up, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 14 strikeouts. So this is huge for him.
Jesus.
Yeah, and so let me tell you about this. There were a lot of swinging strikeouts on the big breakers. There were a lot of swinging strikeouts on fastballs that were high. And a couple changes, right? So he was working a lot of north to south action in this game. A lot of high fastballs, a lot of breakers down at the bottom of the zone. But a couple of those changeups, or he might not call it a changeup. It looks like a changeup based on the speed and where it's sat, landing in the zone. Everybody's expecting the breaker. They hold off on them, get called for strikeouts. So a lot of good things to see. Saw a few hard contacted balls in this game by Valparaiso, but right to outfielders, didn't get a lot of hits. So big performance there. So next we got Brady Bendick for Navy. So against Lehigh on Saturday, this is huge, right? This was the first of a doubleheader. So we were discussing about pitching and how you're trying to allow your pitchers to get a lot of rest. This is huge for him to come in and get a complete game shutout in this game, which allows the coach to basically pitch whoever he wants in game 2 and feel comfortable without any arms wasted in the first game. 2 hits, 3 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 9 strikeouts. This was a big bounce back performance because they previously played Lehigh where Brady lost. So this is a big one. But his
last year or
no, earlier this year. The Patriots were funny. They got a different schedule.
That's the league that does the 2.
They do a lot of double. Yeah.
Okay, double series.
So his breaker was dropping into the zone. It was dropping below the zone. A lot of strikes, a lot of getting ahead early. And he worked out of a jam in the 3rd after a hit by pitch that put 2 runners on. Worked around the leadoff walk in the 4th with 2 strikeouts on the breaker chasing in the dirt. And then they had 3 Ks to end the game after a leadoff double in the 7th. So like I was saying, a lot of getting ahead in this one. 7th inning, he got a little behind in the at bats, but bounced back and got a couple strikeouts. So it's really good to see. Next, we got Aiden Sims for Texas A&M, sophomore right-hander. He is 6-0 on the year at Vanderbilt on Friday, or at home against Vanderbilt on Friday. He got a complete game shutout, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. This is 117 pitches, which may seem like a lot, but the reason was Vanderbilt was getting a lot of 2-strike foul balls, but he was staying in control. A lot of fastballs working both blacks on both edges of the plate. And then he was also working a lot, some fastballs high. He had this it was almost like a cut fastball where he would throw it to the lefties inside and low, getting swings and misses. Or in a couple, to put it in perspective, there were 3 balls popped up to the second baseman in the first 3 innings, the first 9 outs. So that's huge. But he was able to work around a leadoff walk to open up the game where then Mancini stole second, ends up getting the 3rd on the ground ball. So he ends up working out of that. So great to see him. He's pitching really well. I mean, he's a sophomore, 3.69 K per walk ERA on this, or K per BB ratio on the season is huge. And so looking forward to seeing him the rest of the way. And then our last one, Matt Stewart for Gardner Webb, a little small school action. He was pitching. He's a freshman. He's 5-3 on the year. Let's see. He's 6'3", 220. Kenny. He had a 9+ ERA coming into this game, and ends up bouncing back after giving up 6 runs, 6 hits against High Point in his previous performance. This time he was pitching a lot of contact, getting a lot of balls that some lucky plays. Balls go right to outfielders on line drives, but a lot of pitching to contact is good, right? We get efficiency. We got 109 pitches in 9 innings, so great to see Matt Stewart bounce back. Hopefully he'll continue it throughout the rest of the year for Gardner Webb.
That's not bad. And I love that we're doing this. I love the 5 arms pitching of the week because we see a lot of that talk of pitching wise, and kind of just to give everybody a look at pitching because again, we're one of those, you and I will talk pitching night and day. So
after the 5 arms, next one we got our notable upsets.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I don't know what is up with me today, dude. I've felt so slow the entire day. It's been one of those. Yeah, man. I don't. We had, huh?
I said you're good. No worries.
I know, man. I feel.
We're also recording We're recording a little later than we normally do too. So
yeah,
it's been a long day.
Wait, we talking our performances or what?
We're just talking about a couple notable upsets this week. So so the ones to note this week were a couple WCC matchups. So we were talking about the West Coast. We love the West Coast. Portland and Seattle. Seattle was 6-18 coming into the series, and Portland was 18-8. And Portland had just beaten Oregon, right?
Just beaten Oregon, yeah. Yep.
Then goes to Seattle and loses this series. So this is you're looking at this, you're like, I mean, why do I care about these two teams? Why should you? Well, one of them could end up representing the WCC in the postseason, and our next matchup is the WCC as well. So we're looking at a lot of West Coast Conference teams that could possibly make a push, and I doubt they get 2 in. It's possible, but I doubt it. But this is an opportunity for a 4 seed to go to Oregon State, UCLA, one of those teams, and we're just letting you guys know about who's around. The next one, San Francisco, they go and they lose to Loyola Marymount. This is another one where San Francisco, and I just realized I think I spelled Francisco wrong.
There
I don't know. Maybe I didn't.
Spelling?
Who knows? I don't know. Regardless, they were them to drop this series as well. It's another series where you got a poor team in the conference that was 0-6 coming in. Now they're 2-7.
They lost. They lost the series to Marymount.
Yeah.
Woo.
So
they're 10-24.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not up there either. Yeesh.
What was our last one, Kenny? SEC.
The good old SEC, Ole Miss versus Florida. Now we kind of talked about this. We were kind of, well, I was, and you brought up pretty good points. Is it an upset? I mean, Ole Miss took that series, correct? Ole Miss took the series.
Yep.
And Florida just got back up in the rankings at 21 after beating Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I believe.
And then yeah.
Yeah, and I was on the fence about that. The fact that, and a lot of people have said that if Florida needed to be up there, but Ole Miss would a good series win. I think it's a good series win for them. And again, you got to watch out for these SEC teams. Like, they get hot. I think we are halfway. We're week 7, and this is when they start getting hot.
So let's say I think we're a third of the way through the conference.
Yeah.
Maybe a little over the third, but we're reaching the halfway point. Yeah, but I agree with you. This is an opportunity, to be able to see what is an upset in the SEC, right? So many good teams. You never know who's good. We were talking about the Oklahoma-Alabama. I said, do I put that on there as an upset? Because Alabama's ranked lower. But you brought up a good point. Oklahoma lost the series last week. They're kind of slipping a little bit. So it's like we won't know who's really going to be upsets in the SEC
Yeah.
week in and week out because while A&M beat Vanderbilt, big series,
Mhm.
Vanderbilt took game one. I mean, Vanderbilt could go next week and sweep somebody. I mean, like, you just never know with this. So,
Yeah,
but
and
Kenny, ready to? Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say we'll see what Florida's really made of when they face Georgia this week coming up, and they got Florida State this week, and Florida's got a tough schedule, and that's why I'm like,
Yeah,
you kind of want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and this is why I think it's weird that a lot of people love to talk shit, excuse my language, in college ball because baseball's so weird, man. Like LSU today, like you just kind of, and this is a good segue. We're gonna jump into the top individual game performances. We'll talk about Aaron Beatty. The dude has, and he's had some issues behind the plate. Everybody's kind of off about him behind the plate. But LSU goes out and just hit 4 home runs for Cade, one being a bomb grand slam. Just beat the crap out of Tennessee today, taking the series. In Tennessee, they cannot hold a series. They did it versus Vanderbilt. I think they did it versus the team they played the week before. They can't hold a lead.
yeah,
And for LSU to do what they did today, and it was so funny. We complained, and I complained about it all the time. It's these stupid solo home runs. LSU hit like 6 of them today.
yeah. A
It
lot of a
was
lot of solo
yeah,
home runs.
it was 1-4, Jason, and we tied it because we hit 3. No, excuse me, 1-5, I believe, and we got
We
the
hit
4-5 because of solo home runs.
yep in the same inning. I believe they were all in the eighth.
Yes, yes.
So,
So,
but then, hey, then what do you call it? The run in the ninth is a productive out run, right?
yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's good to see the Tigers do that. So while you're talking about it, let's just jump right into those top single game performances.
Please,
You
please.
brought up Kate Aaron Beatty already in that 16-6 win against Tennessee again on Easter Sunday. Tell us about the other LSU performance you liked this weekend, Kenny.
My boy, where's he at? Devin Sheeran. So my issue with LSU is that, and the pitching staff for them looked great this weekend. Like they actually came in pretty clutch. My issue is consistency, and Sheeran he gave up a 2-run homer or home run.
Yep.
He ended up giving up the run, but he finished the game strong. It was a great close. I'll take a good close when we're at this level of college baseball and at this time where you get to the 6th, 7th, and 8th. We're going to talk about another game. The runs in the 9th inning. Screw your 5-run, your 6-run, your 7-run, or your 8-run, 10-run lead. If your
Yeah.
pitcher ain't coming in clutch in those last innings, these last few innings, you're gonna fall behind. And he came in and just shut him out. Consistent pitching, and props to him. Props to Devin Sheeran closing on Friday. Wasn't a big performance again, but I feel like it's notable to put in there.
It's also notable because you were talking about it, right? A lot of times we run into an issue where, especially on the road, bullpens are sometimes struggle, give up walks late, and
Yeah,
for him to come in, get the first 2 outs on flyouts, next 2 guys get on. I believe it was a walk and then a hit, and then he comes back with a strikeout to end the eighth.
yeah,
Right, so you got 2 on
yeah.
in the eighth
He
with
came
two
back
outs, and he
strong.
gets out of it. It was 7-4 at this time. Then he gets 2 strikeouts to lead off the ninth, gives up a solo homer, but at this point, it's a solo homer. You're still 7-5, but you got 2 outs now. Gets that last strikeout, and like you said, strikes out 4 for the last 5. That's huge, and that's a good performance. So it's notable to mention bullpen performances because sometimes the only reason people talk about the bullpen, it's like the center in football. You only talk about
Yeah,
them when something goes wrong, and so
yeah,
it's good to see.
yeah.
It's good to see us highlighting that. And while we're discussing the bullpen, let's just jump right over to South
Love
Carolina's
bullpen.
bullpen that shined on Thursday. So they come
Yep.
in, they play Texas. They're at home. They just lost their coach recently. Texas
Mm-hmm.
is playing really well. They come in and put up 5.1 shutout innings. between Zach Russell and Alex Philpott, and they deliver 7 strikeouts, 1 hit in those 5 and a third, and that's huge for a Thursday game and for an opening series game. So kind of
especially
put the
against
pressure on
Texas.
Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's I think that's a good look for South Carolina too. I mean, they've had a really bad, not the program that South Carolina should be having, and
Yeah.
I think as a program, I think they're taking the wins as big wins. I mean, taking 1 out of 2 from Texas is ain't bad.
Yeah, as I say, they end up losing the next 2, but like you said, I mean, just getting a win there is huge.
Yeah.
Kenny, you were talking about 9th innings and how no run is safe. The Mountaineers.
Woo!
So we were talking about West Virginia a little bit earlier, and we said we'd come back to this. So this was
Mhm.
the only win West Virginia gets in this series, which is huge for them. But they were down 8 in the 6th inning. Come up and get 4 runs in the ninth. You want to hear how this went down, Kenny?
I
So
would
they entered the
love to
ninth.
hear. I love a rundown.
So the pitcher, Mr. Jones, for UCF, was in the 8th inning, stays in the ninth. We come in the ninth with the top of the lineup coming up. So that's huge already, right? You're starting
Mhm.
off the ninth inning with your leadoff hitter. That's an opportunity to basically feel like, hey, we're basically starting the game over, but we're down, but we only have a 1 inning game. And so Guzman comes in and gets a base hit right up the line, right up center, not up the line,
Center
right, a
field.
rope back up the middle,
Okay,
right
there
up
we
the
go.
gut. Then we get a 4-pitch walk. So do you think they pull the pitcher at this
There
point,
it
Kenny?
is.
You got
No, do
first
they
and
not?
second. Oh, you're right. No, they don't. They don't. They leave him in. So then we get another walk after after the pitcher was ahead 0-2. So now we got the bases loaded. Nobody out. Do you
You
think they
should have
pull the
pulled him.
pitcher, Kenny?
No.
No, they don't
Nope.
pull the pitcher. So the next batter comes up, gets a big hit to right field. This is an opportunity for them to get an out in the inning and only give up 1 run. What does he do? He drops it. So then we end up with a dropout in right field, 2-run score. Now you got the tying run on third. Now they pull him. Now they pull the pitcher. Now it's the time to pull Mr. Jones. So then Kevin Schoenboom comes in. So Schoenboom pitched the day before, got 4
Yeah.
outs. 3 of them were ground balls. So you're thinking tying runs on third, we need a ground ball.
Yeah.
Well, he comes up and gets a strikeout on 3 pitches. So now we're down to 2 outs, second and third. Then we get an intentional walk to load the bases. Now we got a force on every play. It's a good play by the coach. I mean, at the end of the day, you're trying to keep that run from scoring.
Yeah.
I kid you not, on the next batter, it is so important to get ahead on batters late in games. If you do not get to 0-1, the difference between 0-1 and 1-0 on a batter is significant difference in the outcome of the
Right.
at-bat. They get to 2-0, gets a ball right down the middle. He sends it right up the middle. I mean, it's just smoked right back where it came from. And they even asked him post game. He said, "I was expecting the fastball. It's a 2-0 count," and he knew
Yeah.
he was getting it. Took advantage of it. They get the 2 runs. They end up winning the game. Just like that, a 4-run ninth. This is an incredible performance, and I do want to shout out the hitter on that. That was Matthew Graveline. He had a big performance there to walk off the game. So then we had a couple other home run performances, Kenny. I mean, we talk about the SEC being power hitting.
Whoa, yeah.
Bryce Fowler had a leadoff home run to open up the game on Thursday. That's an opening of the series against Oklahoma. That sets the tone right there. He ends up getting another home run in that game. They end up winning 10-7. They end up winning the series 2-1. And then we had one more performance. Kenny will take it away.
We're talking about man Colin down here?
Yeah, our
Vandy?
last home. Yeah.
Yeah. 3-run and again, power hitting.
Yep.
3-run homer, 14.
No, 3 home runs.
3 home. What did I say?
3-run homer. He had 3 home runs.
Woo.
That's
3
his
homer day.
second
Thursday.
3-homer day.
Jeez.
Second 3-homer day of the season.
It's probably, you know what? I've had some crawfish today, so it's probably why my mouth's not been able to.
You can't talk about the crawfish in front of me and not have
I'm
Tommy son.
blaming the crawfish.
He's
It's
blaming
Easter.
the crawfish.
3 homer, and a 14-8 win over Texas A&M, and I think that's great. A&M's looking pretty good. Vanderbilt's kind of that weird team that's kind of getting in there. So good performance by our boy Colin. All right, Jason, I think we're kind of running out of time here. Do we want to jump into our mid-majors of the week really quick? Kind of a couple of teams that we've been looking at.
Yeah, we just want to highlight a couple of mid-majors to watch this week. Rhode Island is 11-18. You may be looking at that like, what does that matter? They got a sweep of VCU after starting 0-12 on the year, so they're 11-6 in their last 17. And the sweep of VCU is huge for them. So it's good to see Rhode Island doing a little bounce back, and they're still going to be up in the up for grabs in the conference. There being at 7-5, so there's an opportunity there for them to get back. Liberty 22-9 on the year, 4-0 week with a big win versus NC State 7-5 during the midweek. We saw it on the screen earlier, and then a sweep of the team that had the no hitter during the week, Western Kentucky. So huge there for Liberty. You want to kick off the next one, Kenny?
Yeah, High Point's looking good. That's another team that we keep on talking about. W versus Wake Forest, 26 shutout innings, 3-1 on the week for them. Excuse me. Oh, crawfish coming back up.
He said.
And that maybe Northwestern State kind of gives us something to roll with these Louisiana schools. So. Love a mid-major. What are you laughing at?
I've been backstage. I didn't know where it happened. I couldn't hear anything. No. Have you been talking about the games?
Oh, I bet you nobody heard a damn thing I just said.
No, they may have heard you. I was backstage, though.
No, let me see. Quick graph this up. Jason, are you ready to head into the ninth? Kind of get some things over? All right, then. Here we go.
To the ninth.
Heading to the ninth inning. Let me put two side by side.
Here we are.
All right. I'm going to talk about my top 3 uniforms out of the week. The only team that really had a kind of new uniform this week, West Virginia threw back some uniforms. A nice, like, throwback, kind of a New York Yankees logo. A little WV. Yeah, WV action. From Holly to here. It was a great video. They had the 60s and the 80s had some beautiful uniforms, and I think we need to go back to that. Another team I'm high on is Southern Cal. I love a dark gray. They have some dark gray uniforms. I wish I had some pictures to show up here. Really good uniforms. Tennessee today came out with some cream black helmets. It really reminded me of it was a throwback, but it reminded me of like the like when the MVP baseball came out. Everybody had kind of dark helmets, kind of the early 2000s. And I learned a pet peeve of mine. I've discovered a pet peeve. Baseball teams do not wear gray pants when they're on the road anymore. Why, what that happened, I don't, and the gray just disappeared from people's uniform. I mean, LSU wears their gray on Saturdays, but
wait, what do you see the other days? So if teams aren't wearing gray, are you seeing them both wear white, or are they wearing?
No, it's just the white pants. They don't wear gray pants, and they.
Interesting.
They barely even wear gray jerseys half the time.
Yeah.
I've seen they'll go solid color, but
yeah, everybody likes to wear their colorful uniforms now.
You got a trivia question?
I do have a trivia question for you, Kenny. How many seams are on a baseball?
How many seams are on a baseball?
Yes.
Is it 92?
Not stitches. How many seams are on a baseball?
1.
Very good, Kenny.
Yeah,
it is only 1. It's just funny the reason it was brought up. It was actually a trivia question that was brought up by the announcer during the West Virginia UCF game, and so I was like, I got to bring that one up to Kenny. It's just interesting because we're so used to hearing four seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, but really there's only 1 seam. So, what about you? 1 for me?
I do not have 1. How many seams are on a baseball? How many stitches are on a baseball?
I thought it was 108.
Why am I thinking 92?
Look, you could be right.
Can you look it up?
Yep, hold on.
I feel like it's 92.
I thought it was 108. It's 108 double stitches. Yep. So
Why am I thinking
technically,
92?
well, it's 108 double stitches. So technically, single stitches is 216.
What is 92? Something has to be on 92.
I have no idea.
Anyway.
But before we close out, Kenny, run the slide up there so we can show everybody our current regional host right now. We got our 16 teams currently on our side. These are our current rankings, nobody else's. So take them with a grain of salt. This is after the UCLA sweep of USC. We're keeping USC in at 16. They may bounce out based on how they do next week, but UCLA is a tough team, so I'm not going to hurt them too much for losing to the best team in the country. Then we have Georgia Tech and Georgia sitting at 3 and 4 still. No movement in the top three. We're going to leave Texas and Georgia Tech there. I know Georgia Tech got the sweep and Texas lost that one game to South Carolina, but I'm not going to put too much pain in that. They still won the series, and so we're going to keep them there. Georgia gets that sweep over Mississippi State. We're going to move them up. We see Mississippi State drop a couple spots to 7. North Carolina stays in at 5. Florida State moves up to 6 after their series win. And then if you look at the other side, some newcomers into the top 16. Kenny, we got A&M coming in at 11, Nebraska in at 12, and UCF in at 15. So, what are your thoughts on this so far?
I like it. I think Southern Miss might be dropping a little bit more. I cannot remember who they lost to this week.
They lost that midweek game to it was on our page earlier. They lost the midweek game to Southeastern.
Southeastern. Oh yes, they sure did. I think it was 5-1. That's a good win for Southeastern.
Yeah, it was.
Coastal's a team that. Well, I feel like that's one of them bubble. No thoughts on Coastal right now. Nebraska's that's funny. Nebraska's funny. I think Nebraska will stay there for a while. Central Florida might get a little bit of a more bump up. No. 15's fine. 15's fine.
I think 15's good, yeah.
Yeah, I think 15's good. Just to let them kind of prove a little bit more, and then this is a good top 16. We'll see what Southern Miss stays at. Yeah. But again, the NCAA is kind of weird with their rankings. So
we have seen a lot of teams move around a lot and get some big bumps for random performances. Yeah. So I mean, not completely random performances, but I mean, we saw Alabama jump from nearly unranked to like top number 8 in one of the ranking polls. So it's huge that how quick things can change right now. Nebraska's a big one here because you don't think Nebraska is baseball, and especially with the Big Ten now having all those Pac-12 teams, this is huge for them because it gives them an opportunity to face some of those teams, and it makes the Big Ten look a little better as a conference as a whole for RPI rankings and everything like that. So good to see them jumping in here. Virginia only dropping 4 spots after that series lost to Florida State. That was a tough series, and Florida State coming out on top. It doesn't hurt Virginia too much. And like we were mentioning, I mean, we saw West Virginia drop out. We saw Oklahoma drop out. Multiple teams right there in that 8 to 12 spot didn't win their series this weekend. So that helps Virginia stay in here, I think. So we'll look forward to seeing what happens next week because who knows? Next week, Kansas could be taking the Big 12 spot and moving Central Florida out. So we'll see.
Yeah. Look, well, I'll hit one more note. Nebraska actually has a pretty good – they got Kansas this week. Nebraska's got Kansas this week as well. Then they go to Oregon. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Then they go to Oregon. They got Creighton and then USC. And then back at Kansas. So Nebraska's having a fun day with Kansas, but
wow.
Anyway, guys, thank y'all for watching. I deeply apologize for I'm off on one today.
Hey, you know what?
Jason coming in.
You don't need to apologize for anything. We're authentic around here. We love baseball. We just like talking ball.
Amen. Well, look, if y'all can like, share, subscribe, give us some comments. Go watch out some of our college basketball. I know Final Four's national championship's about to wrap up.
Tomorrow.
Jason, I had Arizona's. Arizona's out, right? They got
Arizona lost
destroyed
by a lot,
So
by like 20.
yeah, by a lot. But all right. My name's Kenny. This is Jason Ide, and thank you for watching the Five Arms and Lucky Finn podcast. We'll see you later.
Bye.